Big John McCarthy.
Let's get it all!
All right, hey, I'm Big John McCarthy, and this is Big John by the Rules. There was something that came up from Dustin Poirier. Dustin talked about he went to Dana White and asked for a tournament with himself, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and Max Holloway. A 4-man, one-night tournament. Now, obviously, the UFC started off of the tournament, and fighters had to fight in the first one, 3 fights to become the champion. In the second one, it was 4 fights because they actually had a total of 32 fighters complete, 16 first-round fights, crazy stuff. But when you take a look at this idea for the BMF title, it's a great idea by Dustin Poirier, but he was told by Dana White, can't do it, they won't allow it. Yes and no. And that's what we're here to talk about. Dana is right in the fact if he, as the UFC's president, says, I'm not going to do a fight that's less than 3 rounds as a scheduled fight, then he's right. He won't be able to do it. But if you look at the regulations, and it's been done in many states, we do still have tournaments, but the tournament format has to fit within what is in the same scope of rules as what we have for the unified rules right now. So right now, there's no fighter that can be put into a mixed martial arts competition that has them scheduled for more than 5 rounds. So if you had these 4 fighters, that means that they would have to have a first round fight. The 2 winners would then meet for the finals and become the winner would be the BMF. That's awesome. But they wouldn't be able to do it in 3-round fights or in 5-round fights. They could do it where their 2 fights measured up to a 5-round fight. So it would have to be that the UFC would schedule each guy against the other for 2 rounds. They would have to come up with a winner. They would have to have it in place where if it was a tie, one fighter won the 1 round, one fighter won the other, the judges would actually just pick who they thought was the better fighter overall, and that fighter would advance. And then their final fight could be a 3-round fight. This is where, there's Dana says, no, they won't do it. It's really, you could get it done by the regulation and, the state athletic commission doing it, but it also has to work for the UFC. And so if the UFC is going to look at it and say, it doesn't really work for us, we don't want to do less than a 3-round fight, then that's why he wouldn't be able to provide that for Dustin Poirier. But you got to look and say, it would be a fantastic selling point. I think that people would eat it up, especially with those 4 fighters, and it being a tournament where you're not only seeing that fighter, but then they're coming back. But there's always, drawbacks to it too. You can take a look at, when you're talking about getting ready for a fight and you're warming up and it's your first fight of the night and you go out there, sometimes you're not going to take damage. But most of the time you do, especially when it's against another solid opponent, and everybody that would be in that tournament is solid. So you got to figure the guys are going to take some damage. Now to go back in the back, sit down, try to relax, and then get back up and start warming up again for your final fight, that is something that a lot of them have never done, and it's not an easy thing to do. And so there's also those concerns. The medical team could also make it to where the person wins the fight, but they can't go on into the second fight. There's all kinds of things that are involved in having a tournament. So I understand why Dana looks at it and goes, nope, that's not possible. It is possible, but things have to change as far as the way the UFC sometimes does things and the way that the fighters are used to things happening. It will change a little bit. I hope that kind of helps. I think it's a great idea by Dustin Poirier, but I can totally understand why Dana goes, I'm not going there. So hope that helps. By the rules, yes, you can do it, but I'm not sure that they will.